Hello, everybody, and welcome to part 11. I can't believe it's been 11 days in a row, and I'm still doing this. So first and foremost, I put in the instructions into the Veeam Hub. So in the Veeam Hub, where these videos are being nested, well, they're in YouTube, but I've put them into Veeam Hub posts. I've also put for each post, for each part, the instructions that link up to the video. Some people just ask to have that sooner rather than later. And so I thought, okay, it would be easier. They can do it, chunk by chunk. I will also, though, create a GitHub repository at some point, load them all in there. In YouTube, I created a playlist. So there's a playlist there too. And so the only thing left really is to create the GitHub repository, which I'll do a little bit later. There's no rush now because I've got the initial instructions in there. If you find anything weird with the instructions, or if you have any questions or anything gets stuck, please contact me. You can contact me through the Veeam Community Hub. So if you haven't joined the Veeam Community Hub, you need to join the Veeam Community Hub. In fact, I can show it to you right here. 1 second. Veeam Community. Oh, well, I can't show you if I don't change my my window, right? Right. Veeam Community Hub. I'll just not log in and pretend I'm just somebody out of the blue. So there you go. It's called the Veeam Community Resource Hub. Tons of information in there, not only about Veeam, but about data protection. There's all sorts of groups in there. If you go to groups here, so you have to create an account. It's very simple. And then there's groups, and you have all these things like user groups for regions. So if like you live in the United Kingdom and you want to get some free swag and maybe free, whatever they have serving there. Sometimes they have, beverages and food. Join, at least for that. You'll get a free meal. And swag too, and a lot of knowledge about data protection. But also there are thematic groups, and this, what I run is one of the thematic groups, Kubernetes Corner, and this is where I'm posting all these things. So you can see there's 309 members, which is certainly not bad. There's also a Veeam Kasten support group in there, but it's not a group, it's the support. So for free support. So for instance, if you're using Kasten in your lab, and you get stuck on something that's really bad, you can ask me. I always like to try to answer stuff, or ask in the Kubernetes Corner. But you can ask the actual Kasten folks there, and they will answer. I mean, it is free support, so you can't expect it like, 2 seconds, but they tend to be very good with that. There are other groups here as well you might want to join. Everything from study halls to calculator stuff, you name it, it's there. Okay, well, let's take a look at the Kubernetes Corner. I'll just go in here and see. So there's Kubernetes Corners. There's the famous Michael Cade. He actually started all this, and I am the group leader. So I'm the group leader, and there are all the Kickstart Kasten parts. So I just was updating them all today. So my stuff will go to the top of the list for January 1st, while everyone else sitting there and relaxing. And I'm doing this. And so when January 1st turns around, wow, look, Jeff's number one in all categories, at least for a day or two, while everyone else is doing something crazy. So that's where you want to go for all of the instructions. Okay. All right. So what are we doing today? Today is December 31st, 2025. So I don't want to spend too much time because I've got to relax and just do nothing and watch movies and stuff. Although I might go skating. And there might be a big surprise tomorrow too. We'll see. A big surprise possibly tomorrow. I don't want to jinx it, but we'll see. So what I want to show today very quickly is I want to show something here, which is that freeze, enable guest OS freeze. Okay. So I haven't done this before. So this is the first for me. Now, I press it, and it's telling me that when protecting the running VM, the QEMU guest agent will freeze the VM. Okay, so that's an important factor, because I also work a bit with KVM, and I know that's definitely not in the OS by default. I mean, that's not in Ubuntu by default, so we have to install that. So let me just copy that. Hopefully this will be the same name. I'll copy that, and we'll move to my VM. So this is my VM, and let's see if DNF can handle this. So DNF install, and I know in Ubuntu that is the name for it. So let's try that. Put in our password. Yes. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. So it's running now. We probably have to enable it so that it starts automatically when the server reboots, and we'll start it too. So that's what is that command in Linux? Systemctl. Remember, we're not just learning Kasten stuff here. This is Rocky Linux. That's what the new Veeam is going to be on. So you're getting 2 for 1 here. It's like the 2 for 1 special or happy hour. You call it whatever you want. So the command is systemctl. It's an excellent command. You can do a lot of stuff with it. There's also journalctl, but that's for troubleshooting, which we don't want to do right now, hopefully. So systemctl, spelled correctly, and we're going to enable, and it is the QEMU guest agent. Okay. And is added, whatever. Okay. A little bit different message than Ubuntu, I think. Maybe not. Let's look at the status. So I've enabled it. Well, I haven't started it, so we've got to start it. Okay. No complaints. So normally when you do a sudo systemctl start, whatever you're trying to start, if it's unhappy, it's going to tell you right away. Okay. So when you don't see anything, it's quiet. It means it's behaving. So let's look at the status. That's the next way to check. Running. Love it. Okay. So that is running on the host. Okay. So I'm assuming that's what it needs. I don't know. I haven't. So yes, I've been naughty because it's like December 31st and I haven't read the documentation yet, this section. Okay. I decided to try it live to see what happens because sometimes that's just fun to do. In a home lab, you're permitted to do that. That's half the fun. Then when you actually read the documentation, you'll go, yeah, now it makes sense. Okay. Enough silliness. Where's my Kasten? There it is. So we're going to confirm this. Let's see if it complains. Okay. So it says the virtual machine will be frozen when backup's created. All right. I believe you. Let's go back to our, where are they? Policies. We'll go back to our policies. Okay. And now that's fine because I did a restore and I've got 2 VMs, but it's in the other namespace. So that's fine. That's something, again, that's going to change in Kasten 8.5. You'll be able to select different virtual machines easily within the same namespace. I've only got one. That's fine. So let's kick this off and see what happens. We're going to run it once. Remember, we have to choose a time for the retention, and I'll just choose tomorrow at some point, and off it goes. And let's watch this. This should be a lot of fun, if it works, of course. So we will watch that. Hopefully it won't take too long, and we'll just pause that for a second and wait for it to come alive. And then afterwards, we're going to go in, and we're going to see, well, we don't have to wait. We can always look at this, I guess. What I'm going to look at is what different messaging will be in here, because it'll be in this part here, and we should be able to see at some point freezing the OS. Okay, this will be really interesting to see if it works or not. Okay, so it completed, the snapshot worked, but this is something I have not seen before, so it was worth doing. Completed with exceptions. Click for details. Okay, I haven't seen that before. Now I'm pretty certain what this is going to be because this is the only thing I've done differently here is enabled that guest freeze. So learning experience. It'll prove once again you should always read the documentation unless you just want to have fun in your lab. Let's click that and see what happens. So it's going to bring it up here. Failed to freeze VM. Now, how did I guess? All right, let's see what's annoyed about. Okay. This is an easy one. Okay. This is an easy one. And this is what happens when you're working in different, spheres. Spheres as in like host, VM. So let's think logically, Jeff. See, I haven't started my New Year's Eve celebration, right? This, by the way, is kombucha. So before you all go, oh my God, what is he doing? Organic bio kombucha, no alcohol. So I haven't even started that, so I'm not affected by it if it does affect me. So where did I install? This is kind of funny, actually. Where did I install the QEMU guest agent? I installed it on the host. Now, if I was in hypervisor mindset, right, I would think right away, where do you install guest agents? Where does VSS take place in Windows? Right, inside the VM. So where do you need to install? Yes, you got it. You got to install it inside of the VM. So this was a good little lesson. So why don't we do this? Let's go and find, we'll go to KubeVirt Manager because it's fun. There's my restored still running, right? So I didn't make that up. I'll have to delete it. It's using resources. Let's go into the VM. There's my matrix. And let's install it there, all right? Because obviously that's where, oops, this thing can be a little bit, there we go. Now where is, it's in System Tools, our Q terminal. Okay, Q terminal, excellent. And this is where we need to install the guest agent. So now the Ubuntu is a Debian base, it's Ubuntu, so apt install QEMU guest agent. In fact, it's not a bad thing I installed the QEMU guest agent on my Rocky VM because that means in Proxmox I can do things with it, right? Right. So it wasn't a waste of time, but it's just that it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. So let's install this here. We'll do a little Y for yes. And hopefully I remember the password. Oh, I do. Thank goodness. Great. So same thing. But this time the guest freeze will probably work, right? I hope so. I mean, it should. All right. Now we do the same thing we did before. Sudo systemctl. Same command as in Rocky. Sudo systemctl. We're going to start the QEMU guest agent. And we're going to enable it. Okay, it always says that, I think. Let's just double check to see the status. And it's running, it's happy. Okay, wonderful. So now, that's still doing the monitoring finish. It's export, it's done everything correctly. We're happy about that, but we need it to do the guest freeze. So now, since we have enabled the Chemo and installed the Chemo guest agent inside of VM, this should work. Okay, I'll do 2 again, or 1 day, I'm sorry. And we'll press yes right away. The other one is finishing the monitoring part. Actually, it already finished, completed. So now we'll wait for this. Okay, so, you know, no problems. I installed the Chemo guest agent in my VM where Rocky Linux is, my Rocky Linux VM, because it's in a hypervisor, which is also KVM based, by the way, right? It's KVM, it's Proxmox is KVM based as well, so same thing. So now I can do things like shut down correctly and do all sorts of fun things. If I wanted to back up the Rocky, I could leverage this too. I could leverage it through Veeam, right? So maybe I'll do that next time to show a kind of whole little, you know, Christmas tree of backups and hypervisors all nested, you know. That could be a new theme. Anyways, this didn't take too long last time, so we're going to wait around. I'm not going to pause the video. But then, of course, I have to think of something to talk about. So getting back to kombucha while we're waiting, this is great stuff because you can drink, well, you can't drink too many of them. It's not like me back in the day with beers. And you don't feel bad the next day, right? So you have like 2 of these big guys. They look really kind of like New Year's Eve-ish. This is the, what kind is this? This is the hibiscus and rose hips. Wow. Next morning you wake up, you're all ready. And what do we have? While I was talking, we have successful backup and no warning about the freeze. So let's check this out really quickly. I want to see what it actually says. Like, does it actually prove? It should, I think. And my cat's at the door meowing now. He's annoyed because it's 4:06, December 31st. Said, Jeff, stop doing this. You're annoying me. So I might have to finish early. Let's just see. So I've got, these are the artifacts. So you know what? I don't know where it would be. It's going to be in somewhere in here. It's going to tell us that it did this, I believe. But we might have to look at the YAML. Okay, and I'm just going to do this. Now you can do this, YAML, and then let's do freeze. Okay, and there's 2 freezes here. All right, so let's go to the first. There it is. Freeze status indicated a freeze operation was requested. Okay, that's interesting. Freeze was requested, and did it happen? I don't see. Well, that's the one. Let's look at the actions. Freeze. And there's 8 here. Okay, so there's the request. There's another one. Where are the other ones? This is interesting. I haven't really ever tried looking for stuff. Okay, look at that. Kasten IO freeze VM true. That's in the config. Snapshotting. Boom, 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 boom. That was number 7. Where's number 8? Oh gosh, we're lost in the spaghetti. I'd like to see it. Like, there's true running. I mean, if I want to freeze, I can step outside. Like, it's minus like 15 Celsius right now. So that's requested. Anyways, it's in there somewhere. I don't want to spend all day here. My cat's freaking out. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it was successful, which means if I had anything running here, which was like a database or anything that I need to freeze, I mean, if it was a database, you'd also have to do some extra operations, right? Because you need to, you know, leverage like a script or something for the database. It won't be happy, but we have frozen the VM. All right. Happy New Year. I will see you next year. Bye-bye.